Hey guys, Shani back with another process video, and if I have done my calculations correct, this is my last scrapbooking for beginners kit layout, and the kit will be finished. I did do other layouts after this, but you've seen them before this video. They aired earlier, so it's kind of confusing, but I'm pretty sure this is the last layout you'll be seeing. And then tomorrow I will be doing a walkthrough real time of showing you what's left of the kit and kind of talking about it a little bit. So right now what I've done is I cut that 6x6 paper that has the cute little quote. I cut it down just so that it was more of a rectangle instead of a square, and then I'm cut the wood grain paper into little 1/2-inch strips, and I am just adhering them around the edge of that paper so that it looks like a chalkboard, or not a chalkboard, a letterboard, whatever it's called. I was really excited. I thought it was super cute. So I am just adding adhesive around the edge and then adhering each strip, and then at the end I will go in and trim the corners, and so they'll look mitered. So when I go in to trim the corners, what I started out doing is just trimming down diagonally on the corner, but then I decided it was easier if I kind of stick my blade underneath the top piece of paper. Then when I cut all the way through, they'll just completely come apart instead of having to deal with the back somehow. So I went around and did that, and it just gives it that cute little mitered corner look, like it's a real letterboard. I am going to go in and add foam tape. I think I adhere the sign down flat, and then I'll add foam behind the photos in a minute. And these photos are just of India and her fake family. Oh yeah, I'm just going to adhere it flat, and then I'll go in and add foam behind those photos. So when I worked for Hobby Lobby, if you didn't know that, I recently quit. I had worked there for 7 years at the art creative department at corporate, and as a crafter. And my department, once we created the projects, they would get photographed by the photographers and the stylists and everyone in our department. And whenever, it got kind of difficult to get models, child models sometimes, or to get correct sizes or correct ages or stuff like that for models. So sometimes they show up and they're completely different than what you expected, and the clothes don't fit, or their hair is now short, or whatever it is. So sometimes it's kind of difficult to get child models for different reasons, but those are some of the reasons. And they needed somebody, and I needed to be able to make this outfit to a specific size, and we couldn't find a model, so I got to stick India in there. My aunt took India to a photo shoot, and she wore that cute little nightgown that I made and got this fake family, which was adorable, and she was just so cute. So it was really cool whenever I got on Facebook and saw her photos posted. So of course I had to screenshot them on my phone and print the pictures and scrapbook them. So what I did is I just backed the photos. I did back them with white cardstock ahead of time, but then I went in and backed them with what was left of that wood grain paper and trimmed them down, and then adhered them together, and then added the fun foam so that they overlapped exactly how I wanted before the foam got added. So now I haven't adhered them down yet because I'm trying to decide where I don't have a real title, because the faux letterboard is my title, but I did want to add just a little subtitle down there with those gold, what are they called? Whatever, the letters, tile alpha stickers. And Of course, because they are old and they don't stick, we're using Nuvo glue to help glue them down so that they do stick. And then from there, we'll do all the fun embellishing. This layout does go fairly quickly. I did ahead of time fussy cut all of this cream and black floral paper, so if you had to do it all at once, it would take a little bit longer because the fussy cutting does take a while. But I did that ahead of time, just knowing that I would want to use those florals, like, not necessarily this specific layout, but I would want to use the florals as florals at some point. So I fussy cut them before I even started doing the whole series, and just kind of put them in a baggie and set them aside. So now, once I've got that whole subtitle right there, sorry, one more line. Sorry, whenever I'm doing the voiceover, there's like a little bar across the bottom of my screen, and sometimes I can't tell exactly what's happening on the screen, and if I don't remember, then it's like, wait, what's going on? So I'm sorry for moments like that when I have no idea what's going on for the video and can't tell because the little bar's there. So now that the subtitle's all adhered down and these florals are all cut out, I'm just going to go in and start layering and tucking and gluing floral bits all around this area, all around the photos basically, and down the bottom where the subtitle is pretty much where all the florals are going to go. And I'm just clustering it. It's going to take a while because I add a lot of these in there. But one thing to keep in mind whenever I'm doing this is that I'm only adding glue to the end that's going underneath the photo or underneath the other floral piece. I'm not adding glue all the way to the whole piece, or it would be adhered completely flat on your page. You wouldn't have any of that texture or dimension, and it would just look very flat and like as if you just had another piece of paper just glued straight on your background. So I do kind of curl them up just a tiny bit and then adhere just the inside piece down so that it is adhered down really well, but the rest of it can kind of be loose and have some texture and dimension. The other good thing with doing it that way is that you can always go back in and add more flowers tucked in beneath it or behind it, and continue on with your clustering, which makes it kind of nice. You don't have to like peel stuff up and then have to glue it back down or anything like that. The other thing you could do is also add some foam dots behind pieces like that, and then that'll help it keep some of that texture and dimension as well. If you don't like texture and dimension, you're totally welcome to glue things completely flat. That is all on you. Whatever makes you happy in your layouts, do that. But for me, I just like all the texture and dimension and layering and all the sprinkly bits. Like, those are all my favorite parts of scrapbooking. So I do want to make sure there is tons of that. The other cool thing about doing all these little clustering bits is that you do get a lot of little details in it, and it draws a lot of attention to your photos. On some of them, I am, like you could see on the left side of the photo right there, I am mostly tucking floral behind the photo, but some of them I am overlapping the photo just ever so slightly. Not that you're losing any of the photo itself or any of the image or anything like that, but that it just kind of ties. It's not the photos just sitting on top of everything. It kind of ties them together like the flowers grew up around the photo, which doesn't matter. It doesn't really make any sense, honestly, in real life, but I like the look of that. That's just how I work usually. So I'm still just tucking and adding and just filling in any little weird gaps or any holes, and adding little leaves and all sorts of little bits. You could also, if you were doing this, you could go in and just add like if you had more actual flowers, like this is more greenery than anything, just because that's what the images were. But if you had more like actual flower centers and stuff, or heads, whatever you want to call them, blooms, blossoms, you could just cut those and add those with pop dots completely on top instead of tucking anything, which would give it another layer of dimension and texture and look as well. Now I am going in with these red enamel dots, and I'm just going to fill in around the florals over here and just adding them in little gaps. That just adds a little bit more color to the layout, because it's obviously a lot of black and white, which is kind of cool because it helps the photos pop. The red in the photos kind of pop a little bit better, but it's just sort of boring. And so I did like that I had those red enamel dots that I could kind of tie in the color in there. And then the last thing I'm doing is just adding a little bit of journaling, just talking about what these photos were, India modeling, and how it was cool to get on Facebook and see my kid on Facebook with her fake family. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. And then I will use my little tiny scissors and cut my journaling strips apart. Oh, I do add some Heidi Swap Gold Color Shine. I didn't realize that. I am just splattering it around where the outside of the floral. I'm not getting it on that letterboard at all. Or I'm trying not to get it on the letterboard at all, I should say. I probably do, but I'm trying not to. And then I'm going in with those journaling strips. When I do journaling strips like that, they are just pieces of white cardstock cut to 1/4 inch wide strips, and then I do my handwritten journaling on top of them. I just like the look of getting your handwriting on your pages, and I'm kind of lazy and don't want to deal with the computer, but then I don't have to worry about leaving a spot for journaling or trying to find a neutral background to kind of do journaling on or anything like that. So I just cut the strips up into little pieces and kind of stagger them down across back here, and that's pretty much it. So honestly, other than cutting all the floral apart, this layout goes very quickly. It's just a matter of tucking and gluing, and that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, congratulations. It's been a little crazy over here in my head, I guess. Maybe it's not as bad in real life, hopefully, but in my head, a little all over the place. And I'm trying to get all the voiceovers done today while Phil and India are gone, and get this whole series wrapped up so we can move on and jump back into all the new stuff that I've been saving for the last couple months since we've been doing the Scrapbooking for Beginners kit. If you did like this video, please hit like and leave me a comment, and hit subscribe if you want to see more videos, especially the rest of, well, I guess tomorrow's the last of the series. I'm so used to saying see the rest of this series, but it is almost over. So if you want to go back and watch the rest of the series, you're more than welcome to subscribe. And yeah, that's it. So thank you again. Sorry, it's long and rambly and crazy. I hope you have a wonderful night and happy scrapping. Bye.